stay calm when the back end slides. Tiny mistake can redraw lives. Names on the board, but the story's live. Turn by turn, we fight to arrive. This is the Formula V trophy. We ride the edge, we ride it clean. GG our nation, in my headset, one more lap to chase the dream. Formula V trophy, hold your nerve and hold the line. TG our nation, feel it rising. Champions build the 10th at a time. Strapped in tight, screen glow on my face, ghost lines, break lights, chasing every trace from warm-up laps to the last white flag. Heartbeat louder than the waving red. This is the Formula V trophy. We ride the edge, we ride it clean. TG our nation, in my headset, one more lap to chase the dream. Formula V trophy, hold your nerve and hold the line. TG our nation, feel it rising. Champions built to 10th at a time. And stay calm when the back end slides. Tiny mistake can redraw lives. Names on the board, but the story's live. Turn by turn, we fight to arrive. This is the Formula V trophy. We ride the edge, we ride it clean. GG our nation, in my headset, one more lap to chase the dream. Formula V trophy, hold your nerve and hold the line. TG our nation, feel it rising. Champions build the 10th at a time. Strapped in tight, screen glow on my face, ghost lines, break lights, chasing every trace from warm-up laps to the last white flag. Heartbeat louder than the waving red.
And a very good morning, everybody. Welcome along to the live stream of the TGR Nation Formula V Trophy Series. Hope you're doing well. We're going into round two. I'll tell you more about the circuit that we're going to be at. It's going to be an absolute ripper. It was last season, and it should be this season as well. But there is the championship standings after the first round. Eric Langeres, 75 points. Ken Pullen with a fantastic result for him. 67, currently sits in second. Robbie Wright, a bit of a surprise packet to be up there in the top three as well. And Todd Wakefield on 54. Sean Gabinski in fifth. Then we go back to Rodrigo, Suleiman, David, Allen, and Eric Legault round out the top 10 at the end of the first round. It's going to be a fascinating day today. We're about to get underway with qualifying, but first, let's catch up with the man who runs this series. Currently sits in third, Robbie Wright.
Hi, I'm Rob. I run the Formula V Trophy League in iRacing, league number 13632. If you're looking for something faster and more exciting than the regular V races, join the Formula V Trophy League. We race at 5 paid tracks, which equate to 6 races, including Sebring, Imola, Interlagos, Brands Hatch, Suzuka, 2 ovals. So you're going to get a lot of racing that you won't get on the regular schedule. We run heat races, 15 minutes each race. We run Sunday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you there. Okay, let's grid up.
So let's take a look with qualifying over the way things have shaped up. Eric Langeres, 109.83, will start from pole for the first race. You've got Alexander Bourgassard with a 109.85. Sean Gabinski, 110.3. Robbie Wright in fourth with a 110.4 at the end of qualifying. Absolute Turncoat, our man Jason Archer McMillan, racing in the US colours after losing that bet. And... oh, we're not going to show much of him. We're really not going to show much of him. We're at Phoenix International Raceway on the road circuit, the oval road circuit, the legacy circuit, and it should be interesting with 2 very quick races. Last year, as I said, was outstanding. This year is going to be just as intense, I would think. I'm monitoring the guys that are sitting there in Discord, and we're ready to go in race number 1 as round 2 is about to get underway. Who's going to take victory? We'll know very, very soon. Revs start to build and off and racing. They go. Eric Langeres gets away reasonably nicely. Alexander Bourgassard sitting right behind. Don't know why Russell Daly's come up at the pointy end of the field on the graphics. That's a bit weird. Further back in the pack, looks like they've all got through turn 1. Alexander runs very wide in that first turn, carries too much speed through there and loses a mountain of ground as a result. Let's go back into the field. Here is Ryan Curtin sitting right behind Nathan Maroney at the moment as they work their way forward and will try to at least anyway. They're at the back of the pack and not positioned the way where they would like, I wouldn't think. Up front, as you can see at the moment, You've got Eric Lancheras leading the way over Alexander Boogasherd, and he's almost a second in front by the end of this first lap. That is going to be vital that he keeps that up. Sean Gabinski back there in third, Robbie Wright in fourth, Matt Zerbs in fifth spot. Then we go back to Christopher Cassiano, the man that's caused Jason Archer McMillan to race in those different colours, which is a real pain in the backside for an Aussie. Hate to see. Now, Jason's been involved in an issue. Let's see what happened with him. Just did it all on his own. I think that was during practice. I think that was in qualifying, at the end of qualifying. Just popped up on my screen. Bit of a latency there. Robbie Wright gets overtaken. He gets overtaken at the moment, and double overtake there for Robbie Wright. So he's going backwards quickly. Matt's been able to get in front of him, and David Gerard is sitting right behind him. And as you can see on the screen, David's now a 3K racer. He achieved that goal on Friday, Australian time anyway, as he gets dive bombed there by Christian Flagg. Yeah, David Gerard has now made his way up into a 3K race, so congratulations for him. He's also a streamer and will be streaming this race, or replaying this race, I should say, not streaming it, but replaying it on his YouTube channel. The link is in the description down below as well. Nathan Maroney's working his way forward, finds himself in the top 9, but Eric Lancheras up front. He's got plenty of work to do because Alexander Boogasherd has closed up right behind him and having a go for the race lead now. Comes side by side as they go towards turn 1. The two almost touch. Eric has to bow out of it. He's going to slot into second spot. Gabinski trying to close the gap further back in the pack there. Then we go back to Matt Zerbs, Robbie Wright and Christian Flagg, but still the battle on for the race lead. Nothing between these two, and this brings Gabinski back into the 4. Couple of drivers have already had off tracks. Now, the state of play is here. Crash damage is off. We did that at Lime Rock at the first round of the championship, and they've elected to keep it off, but they did have 110 horsepower, or 10% more horsepower at the previous round. The horsepower is put back to normal, but crash damage is off. We just want to see great racing. We just want to see side-by-side racing, and there's a lot of that going on further back in the pack. Who's this? Christopher Cassiano's had a moment. Christopher Cassiano has been looped around. Let's see if we can see what happened. Oh, wow. Where do we start here? There's quite a few of them that have popped up on the timing sheet. Here's Sully Khan. Has he done this? Okay, no, he's caught up to this issue that we're looking at. Let's look from the forward perspective. Here's Christian Flagg. Oh, it's just gone all wild and woolly out there, with cars going left, right and centre trying to... There's so many American-looking cars. Go away. Matt Zerbs has had an issue as well. What happened with him? Christopher Cassiano behind, just gets into the back of him. Does Christian Flagg get caught up? Yes, he does. Oh, this is a crazy way to get caught up in all of this action so early on in the race. There's your race leader, Alexander Boogasherd, leading Eric Lancheras, and Gabinski sitting right behind him. You know Eric's not going to like sitting back there in second spot. He's going to try, and they have pulled out an enormous gap back to David Gerard, who's found himself up in the top 4, loving his open wheeler racing at the moment. And Rodrigo Tostes is right behind him. He's done a sensational job to work his way forward, to follow David through the pack, or be with David at this particular stage of proceedings and holding out the top 5. In behind, we've got Robbie Wright. Then you've got Nathan Maroney sitting in there as well, waiting to pounce. Is Maroney going to have a look to the inside? He certainly is. Down into turn 1. Can he hold it out? Let's have a look. Robbie Wright on the outside, so he's going to be hung out to dry. Maroney moves up into 6th spot. Picks up another slot, working his way forward very quickly. Now, Eric Lancheras has got back into the race lead and has a half-second gap, and he is pushing at the moment. Alexander Boogasherd with a 109.66, fastest lap of the race so far. But he's doing everything he can to hold on to the back of Eric, but Eric looks to have the speed. Early on in qualifying and practice, Eric was a long way in front, and just in the closing stages, Alexander was able to pull out a really quick lap at the very last moment. Now, Suleiman Khan has had an issue. Oh, just has a big tangle there. I think that was Archer McMillan. That'll teach you to change flags, Jason. By the way, Jason is a streamer too. You can check him out at the Mid-Pack Racer. And I believe he will be replaying one of these races.
I'm sorry. It's all right. It's your disguise that put me off, mate.
That was the voice of Simline Racing saying that
Southampton livery on, you would have done a better job.
the two boys having a bit of a gibber about their coming together. Jason apologised and Simline Racing said the livery got him confused. Yeah, traitor. Ken Pullen, who's doing well in the championship at the moment, sits back there in at 14th spot. He's got Ray Curtin in front of him and Michael Thiessen right behind. He needs to work his way forward if he's going to maintain that top 5 result here this week. Plenty of work for him to do. Maroney's right up onto the tail of Rodrigo Tostes, the Brazilian, holding him out at the moment. David Gerard leading that group of 3 drivers. Maroney's a man on a mission. He goes to the outside of Rodrigo. Down towards the first turn they come, down across the strike. He's on the outside, which is not the preferable line. What can he do about it? Is he going to try and switch back? Rodrigo's awake to that, but the door opens. Maroney goes up the inside, and he's going to make it 3 wide with pit bits as they make it into turn 1. Pit bits. David Gerard backs out of that one. Plays smart. Rodrigo's looking on the outside of him. What can Rodrigo do? We'll go back. David Gerard holds down that spot, and he's going to sit behind Nathan Maroney. Eric Lancheres once again loses the race lead as Alexander goes up to take out P1 and a fastest lap of 109.55 just set a few moments ago. Obviously, slipstream helps there, and Gabinski having a little bit of trouble holding on to this. Now, what have we got? We're at 7 minutes of this race, so about half this race is already gone. These guys have pulled out a massive gap over Nathan Maroney, who sits back there at the moment in 4th spot. He has got 5.8 seconds to try and bridge, which is going to be a tough ask, especially without any slipstream in front of him. Eric Lancheres shaping up again on Alexander Boogasherd. Side by side they go. Out on the oval section of the track. Now they dive back into the road racing area again. Tight little go between those two. Let's go on board with Alexander and see it from his perspective. Trying to bridge that gap. They were a bit slower that time around by nearly a second, so they were fighting a fair bit by the looks of things. Alexander not happy to back out of this one. Christian, oh, we had another issue. Christian Flagg has had another drama out there. What's happened with him? There was an off track and he loops it round the 02 car and gets collected on the way through. Oh, that was Nat Zibes, I think. You'll find. Let's go on board with him. Sees the car there and yet nothing he could do about it. Gets totally clobbered. Back to the pointy end of the field. Eric Lancheres leading the way at the moment. Alexander sitting in the slipstream, and look at the gap back to 3rd of Sean Gapinski. He has fallen off the back of this battle in a big way. He was only 3/10 slower on that previous lap, but the gap is now enormous between them. Maroney has been able to close that gap, but only by 0.4 of a second. So that's not going to be enough with just 5 minutes left on the clock, but he'll pick up valuable points from this. David Gerard sitting right behind, biding his time. Then you've got Rodrigo, and right on the back of this battle is this man, Robbie Wright, in 7th spot, trying to line up Rodrigo to see if he can find a way past. Can he do it? No. Now Alexander is in all sorts of trouble up at the pointy end of the field. Eric Lancheres has got him out to 0.8 a second ago. It's now 0.7. And Alexander's obviously got some slipstream and is bringing that gap back down. Robbie Wright involved in this pretty intense battle. Cliff Hellberg is right behind him, but 1.7 seconds back, so not in the slipstream. Looks like Robbie, as they say, is just smoking his pipe, sitting there chilling, waiting to see what's going to happen up in front. Looks like David Gerard is starting to line up Nathan Maroney. Is he going to have a go? Yes, he is. Goes to the outside as they go down towards turn 1. He's way out wide. Maroney has the inside line. Gerard's going to try the switchback, but it's not going to pay off, and almost loses a spot to Rodrigo, who looms up behind him. Now Gerard's got a great run through this section. What can he do with Maroney? A tough campaigner to get past. And I tell you what, if he can, it'll give you an idea of, oh, Rodrigo so close to the back of David Gerard there. Almost made contact. Had to back out of that and lost a little bit of time as a result. Now, this is the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th, and it is not over by any stretch of the imagination. Now, Michael Thiessen's had an issue. What's happened with him? Was he a bit of net code there by the look of that. We'll just go back and take a look at that again. They got close. Yeah, definitely net code there and got turned around. Did everyone manage to avoid him? Yes, they did. So fortune favours him at that particular stage. Here's the battle up front with 3 minutes left on the clock. Lancheres on the inside, the white with the black and the green stripe. Eric sitting right behind him, the Burgermeister, trying to find his way forward and take the victory here. He missed the first round, so he's got plenty of catching up to do, and you don't want to give, you do not want to give Eric Lancheres a lead in the championship, which he has at the moment and will be very hard to beat. Now, Rodrigo, whoa, just caught him doing an off-track and allows Robbie Wright to get through. He was very, very close to David Gerard, and I'm not sure if those two were involved in a ding-dong battle, but wow. He managed to hold together even though the car was completely airborne at one stage, so GG to him. Maroney still 5.6 seconds down off 3rd spot, so it's going to be 4th for him or David Gerard. Those two will battle out as they go down towards the checkered flag. Now side by side again we come. Down towards the start-finish straight. The Burger on the outside. Tries to get a run the long way around. Can he do it? No, Lancheres gets the line. The switchback here from Alexander gets a great run out of this corner, but there's not enough track for him to do anything about it as time starts to tick down here. And you can see out the back of his car, there's just absolute daylight in his revision mirror. There's your race leader, 0.2 of a second up the track. Holding his line at the moment. Let's see what Alexander can do this time around. He's in the slipstream. Is he just doing rehearsals for the final lap? That's the question. We're about to find out in this first heat of the second round of the Formula V Trophy Series. The TGR Nation. Down towards the strike they come to complete another lap with about a minute left on the clock. Defensive driving there. White flag is out, so it's time to rock and roll. What can he do? Alexander almost clips the back of Eric, tries to go around the outside. Eric's going to protect that inside line like it's his baby daughter. There's no way in the world he's going to leave that open. And Alexander pushing, trying to find a way past, but can't get it done. Now, Ken Pullen's in a great little battle as well. He's got Matt Zobes in front of him, Ray Curtin and Christian Flagg, and those guys on the final lap go 3 wide. A big move up the inside from Matt. He's moved forward 1 spot, moves up into 11th at the moment. A good performance from him getting around Ray, but we've got this final lap underway. Let's see what our race leader can do. Comes onto the oval section of the track now. Can Alexander get a run on him? Can he get the slipstream? He's 0.4 behind. Has the fastest lap of the race, but is he going to take the race win? It doesn't look like it. He's not closing quick enough, I don't think. Now he starts to get the momentum, starts to loom up behind. The checkered flag is at the ready. The start-finish line just there, goes to the outside. Is this going to be? Yes, he's going to get it right on the line. Alexander Boogasherd has taken the victory over Eric Lancheres. Now we've got Kabinski in 3rd. He comes across the strike as we go back. David Gerard has got round Nathan Maroney. Where's Maroney? He's fallen back through the pack. He's gone rocketing back through the pack there. Something has happened off screen. Robbie Wright's going to finish in 5th spot. Then, wow, So I'm not sure what's happened. It hasn't come up on my screen as Maroney having an issue, but he certainly has. He has had an absolute drama out there and fallen off the pecking order. I'll see if we can find out for you. We're getting set for the feature race.
Hi, I'm Rob. I run the Formula V Trophy League in iRacing, league number 13632. If you're looking for something faster and more exciting than the regular V races, join the Formula V Trophy League. We race at 5 paid tracks, which equate to 6 races, including Sebring, Imola, Interlagos, Brands Hatch, Suzuka, 2 ovals. So you're going to get a lot of racing that you won't get on the regular schedule. We run heat races, 15 minutes each race. We run Sunday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you there.
We're only a couple of minutes off a start for the running of the second race on the program. Now we'll to the live vision and get ready for the start here as the drivers now start to take up their positions. I'll just bring up my control panel. There we go. Alexander Boogasherd off pole position. There's the field. Revs start to build. This is our feature race, the second heat here at Phoenix International Raceway. The second round of the championship, green light, and we are away and racing. Now somebody very slowly, that was Leif Hellberg, further back in the pack, and there's been contact as well as we look back. I think it was Russell Daly that got caught up in all of that. Hopefully for his sake it wasn't him as they all try and make their way through turn 1. Alexander leading over Lancheres, Kabinski right, Gerard, Tostes, Christian Flag back there in the pack as well. Matt Zerbs is in a battle of his own, side by side at the moment. As they try and sort themselves out, contact with the 37 car. It goes around. Unfortunately for Ray Curtin, he loses out big time in that one. Just the slightest touch. It was Daly in having issues as well as this race continues on. Now, let's see what happens at the pointy end of the field. Alexander Boogasherd leading the way over Eric Lancheres. Matt Zerb trying to pick him up. He's gone rocketing back through the pack. That's why he's been caught up. Let's see what happened a second ago. Had a look at the 41 car. Did he? Tries to turn it in, but no, just loses on his own with cold tyres as Alexander Boogasherd leads this race at the moment. I say at the moment because Eric is attacking him, and already they've started to pull out just a bit of breathing space of only about 0.3 of a second over Gabinski. Robbie Wright another second behind, so these 3 guys have just streaked away with this. Got to give Gabinski a big pat on the back. He's picking up valuable championship points as the boy. Not getting caught up in anyone's dramas, and I don't think he's getting any incident points either. I haven't seen him flash up on my screen as doing any off tracks, and certainly hasn't had any contacts. So he is absolutely on fire. David Gerard right in the middle of a pretty good dive. He's got Christian Flag in front of him, who's trying to find his way past Robbie Wright to see if he can close in on this gap. I get the feeling he's not going to mess around. Here's our Christian Flag. I think he'll be right on it. Let's see if he can get a run on Robbie Wright this time around on the oval section of the track. Closing up behind, gets a great run, looks to the inside. Rob leaves the door open, doesn't want to play. David Gerard tries to go through as well. He's going to do it and run side by side with Christian Flag. This is going to upset the apple cart. Was the gap he needed, and also coming through Christopher Cassiano. Now, something's going on up front here because I can hear Alexander Boogasherd in Discord saying a lot. There may have been contact between those two. I don't know. It certainly hasn't come up on my screen. Now, Kabinski in the fight. Alexander gets very racy as he tries to find a way past, flicks the car to the inside. Let's look at it from Sean's perspective. He's right up behind these guys. They're absolutely fighting like cat and dog. I dare say there was contact between the two, the way they all shaped up, but it didn't pop up as an incident, so it would have been a 0x at best. Now, what's happening further back in the pack? Robbie Wright is being rounded up, or having a go at Christian Flag, I should say. He's on the inside, and Christian unable to find the pace here this week. Rodrigo tries to look up his inside. Very close between those two. Alexander Boogasherd trying to go for the race lead here. Can he do it? Down through turn one they go again. Eric on the inside, that valuable inside. Can Alexander hold him out? No, has to step out of the accelerator, has to get out of it in order to maintain not running off the track. And Gabinski, I don't know, if I was Sean, I'd be absolutely petrified. Now there's a great dice. Rodrigo trying to battle out with Robbie. Robbie's managed to hold him off. It was a good attack by Rodrigo on Robbie Wright, but couldn't get the overtaking manoeuvre done. And now Rob's focusing on Christian up in front as they come back onto the oval section of the racetrack. Picks up the apex beautifully. Does Rodrigo, as they make their way down towards the strike to complete another lap with 10 minutes still left to go in this race. Up front, Eric Lancheres holding down the lead, but Alexander's coming at him again and again and again. I don't know, Alexander. I think you want to be in second based on what I just saw there and what you did in the first race. Maybe second's the place to be. Gabinski close enough to... Wow. Gabinski close enough to keep them both in check. He's only half a second behind. That's going to be helpful. That's going to be helpful. Now, who else is close? Leif Hellberg had a difficulty at the start. I'm pretty sure it was him that went rocketing back through the pack. He is sitting there at the moment in 11th spot, trying to go for that top 10 spot. He's got Eric Legou in front of him and Suleiman Khan right behind him in the 17 car. So these three are in a great little battle of their own. Then further back to Archer McMillan, the honorary American, after losing that bet with Christopher Cassiano. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. Look at all those American flags up on the screen. It should be banned. Should be banned. Now, Eric has the... So Alexander has the lead at the moment. Eric's attacking him, and Gabinski's brought back into this fight as they go out to complete another lap. Set their sights on the infield of this oval racetrack. I think Eric may be awake to what's going on here. He might want to sit back there in second spot and charge as they come down towards the strike. What can he do? You can see how close he is. The gap is nothing between them. Of course, sitting right behind that is Gabinski. But up front, he's trying to line him up. Can he do it? Goes wide as they come on to the oval section of the track. This is where we'll have the slipstream. And I don't know if Alexander's going to be able to hold him out. Certainly won't after that twist. The car snapping on him as he got down off the oval section onto the flat. Now, is he trying to suss out what could happen at the end of the race? Yep, Eric will get him if that's the case, only by a narrow margin, nothing between them. In fact, doesn't register in 0.0 digits as they cross the line. Absolutely nose to tail. That'll be down in the 1,000th of a second. While that was taking place, Matt Zerb and Thomas Tucker look like they've had a bit of a coming together. There's the 88 car. He loops it round. Oh, that was harsh. Just a big lose there. I don't know if he made contact. I don't know if he made contact with Thomas, or Thomas was involved in another issue. No, he was involved in another issue. He's just looped it round on his own. Battle up front. Alexander runs wide. In the Discord, he knew it. He gave a very big oh no, or words to that effect anyway. You can work that out for yourself. Side by side, with 6 minutes left to go. Still plenty to play for here. Christopher Cassiano sits back there at the moment in fourth spot with David Gerard looming all over the back of him. Trying to find a way past. Too many of these cars in the same colour. one extra this week. He's holding down that spot of 4th. A notable absentee. Usually we see him up at the front of the pack battling out the race lead, but it's not going to be today. Rodrigo looms up behind Robbie Wright. He's in a three-way fight with Christian Flag sitting right in front of him. The 0-2 car leading this gaggle. And they've got a 1.3 second gap, 1.4 now, over Leif Hellberg. So Leif doing a great job to be up there in the top 10. Ken Pullen right behind him rounds out that 10th position. Rodrigo having a sneaky look up the inside. And once again, the boys up front are having fun. Eric Lancheres with the inside line, the Canadian, 6.4K driver versus 6.6K driver in Alexander. And, yep, I don't know. I reckon that was pretty close to a dead heat that time around. What we will do straight after the race, we will check the championship standings and the official race results to make sure. Alexander was balked out of that one. You could hear the left-hand side of his car, Eric's tyres sliding. So he backed out of it and he's lost a fair bit of ground as a result. Now, Eric's run a little bit wide. The door's open now for Alexander to close the gap back up. 5 minutes left on the clock here.
I don't know what you're waiting for.
Suleiman Khan
Yeah.
further back in the pack. He can see a gaggle of cars in front of him. That's Ken Pullen, Leif Hellberg. In front of them, Rodrigo, Rob and Christian. And he's so close to getting on the slipstream of this battle at the moment. At least just 1.5 behind. And if you can get up and get that extra 0.3 and get into the slipstream of Rodrigo, it'll make it a 6-way battle for what will effectively be 6th spot. Back at the pointy end, these two continuing their fun and frivolity. Eric Lancheres holding down the race lead. Alexander's going with him, and once again, Sean Kabinski sitting back there in 3rd, just almost falling out of this battle. But when they fight, he comes straight back into it. Now, who's moving forward? Christian Flagg's had an issue. Christian Flagg has had an issue and's gone back to 8th spot. Hasn't come up on screen as an incident. Let's see. Leif Hellberg was involved in an incident. That was just a spin of his own. So I'm not sure what transpired there. David Gerard in front of Robbie Wright at the moment and closing in on Christopher Cassiano. This is for 4th. So nothing between these guys, and you can see in front of them, it's absolute daylight of 3.7 seconds to Sean Gabinski, Alexander Bugasherd, and Eric Lancheres that you can see just off in the distance making their way down towards turn 1, and Gabinski's right back in this battle. Let's go check it out. Robbie Wright has gone, where was he? He just went rocketing off my screen. There must have been a timing issue there. Christian Flagg behind him. Suleiman Khan has been able to get round Ken Pullen by the look of that. Up the pointy end of the field with 2.5 minutes or just over that left to go. Eric Lancheres holding down the spot, racing the lucky number 13. Had a chat with him between rounds. Lovely guy, very enthusiastic about his racing, and you can see by the way he drives, definitely wears his heart on his sleeve.
Come on, Ken. I reckon we can get him.
Suleiman Khan says, come on, Ken. I reckon we can catch Christopher Cassiano. A wily fox. Now, Suleiman Khan, a great guy. He came into one of my streams during the week and gave me some tips as well, which I'm very grateful for. So, Sully, thank you so much. It made a big difference too, brother. Here comes Kabinski. He's going to try and make it 3 wide as they go to turn 1. This could be scary. Down they go. Alexander, the meat and the sandwich. And Kabinski holds out, decides, no, I don't want to play anymore, and backs out of that one. I can't blame him for that. Now, Cassiano, what's happened with him? Here's the replay. Pit Bits in front of him. Did he do it on his own? Yes. He just got too much ripple strip, lost the car, and will he lose another spot? Robbie Wright goes past. Christian Flagg goes past. Rodrigo goes past. He's lost a ton of ground as a result of that.
Free bears in pits.
Sean Kabinski up front. You're on board with him at the moment. Battling for second and, of course, the race victory as well. He's got the fastest lap of the race, a 109.55. Up behind Alexander Boogasherd. Eric Lancheres leading the way as they come down towards the strike. This time around, potentially they should get the white flag. White flag is waving, so it's on for young and old now. What do they say? The talk stops and the action begins. You know what I mean. It's a family-friendly show, right? Look at Alexander right up behind Eric. Now he loses a little bit of momentum as the back of the car steps out. He needs to keep that gap as close as possible. Cassiano down there in... Oh, has he got further problems? Yes, he's off the track again. He is off the track again. I think he's had contact with Christian Flagg. Here's the replay just quickly. 3 wide. Robbie Wright tags Christopher Cassiano, or Christopher Cassiano turned into him, I think you'll find, and that took out Christian Flagg, so drama's there. Let's see how this is going to play out. We'll stand in behind them. Alexander gets a great run onto the start-finish, well, not the start-finish straight, but the oval part, which leads to the start-finish straight, and he is going to be super close to this one. Let's see what he can do. Can he make it 2 wins in a row in his return after missing the first round? Almost runs into the back of Lancheres. Doesn't want to use any more real estate than he has to. Kavinsky coming into the fight. 3 wide as they come down across the strike. Alexander gets Eric, and Sean finishes in third. Nothing between the two. Unbelievable. David Gerard in fourth. Robbie Wright fifth. Rodrigo Tostes sixth. Ken Pullen has found his way up into seventh. A great drive from him. Solomon Khan in eighth spot. Eric Legault, and rounding out the top 10, it's Michael Thiessen. We'll stand by for the results to be posted, and we'll come back and we'll confirm those for you in just a moment.
Hi, David here. I just wanted to say, if you're watching Grant Boyden Racing and wanted to see the driver's eye view for some of his commentaries, then hop along to my channel, BitBits. Definitely in the battle here, aren't we?
0.77.
And you can see all the mistakes and all the issues that Grant keeps picking me up on. Grant Boyden is the best commentator I know. I only know one commentator.
Thank you. I think, David, go and check out his YouTube channel. The link will be in the description down below. Also, Nathan Maroney has got a YouTube channel. The link is in the description down below. And also Jason Archer McMillan, who we didn't see a great deal of in that race, thank God. I'll show more of him once he puts his Australian colours back on. He's also got a YouTube channel. The link will be in the description down below. Let's recap how things went. Qualifying, Eric Lancheres was the fastest man out there. Took pole position for race 1. Alexander, then Sean, Rob, Matt, David, Christopher, Rodrigo, Ryan, and Leaf rounding out the top 10. In that first heat, Alexander took first blood there and took out that win and the fastest lap of the race with the 109.55. Eric finished in second, Sean in third, David Gerard once again punching well above his weight in fourth. Robbie Wright rounds out the top 5. And let's go to the feature race. Alexander pipped him again, right on the line. Look at that gap, would you? 0.05 of a second. So there was less than a second separating the top 3 there. That's insane. Eric Lancheres, another gallant performance from him, just does not back off. Sean Kabinski, really impressed with his performance today. Stayed there, collected the valuable championship points, stayed out of trouble, and managed to pick up very good points, finishing in third on both races. David Gerard, Robbie Wright, Rodrigo Tostes, Ken Pullen, once again, just shining absolutely like a diamond. Suleiman Khan in 8th, Eric Legault, Michael Thiessen, Christian Flagg in 11th. Disappointing. I think Christian would be absolutely gutted with that result. Sitting back there so far. Usually he's at the pointy end of the field doing his best. You've got Ryan Curtin in 12th, Matt Zerbs in 13th, Jason Archer McMillan for Australia, Jason, in 14th spot. Russell, then we go back to Leaf. Christopher Cassiano, he'd be gutted. He would absolutely be gutted, finishing back there. Thomas and Nathan Maroney, who disappeared off the screen for us. In fact, what we might try and do, gentlemen, just bear with us because I can get Nathan Maroney. We didn't see what happened with Nathan out there on the track. Nathan, can you hear me?
Nathan is not here.
Oh, he
Maybe
bailed out.
he disconnected.
He bailed
Yeah,
out.
I think his computer crashed.
His
He
power
said
went out.
His power went out, yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. He just disappeared off our screen. Hey, Alexander, welcome back to the league. Well, we missed the first round, but what a way
Thank
to
you.
go.
Yeah. Wish I could have tried the 110%. I'm looking forward to the next one.
How did you know pretty much throughout both of those races you were going to try and sit there in second and get him on the line, or was that just how it played out?
Oh yeah, no, I was just fighting for fun at the start and then just waiting. To be honest, I don't think, because I remember last season it happened to me. You don't want to be first.
Yeah,
There's pretty much nothing you can do.
so
It
close.
was a bit scary the second race though, because there was the third person there as well.
Yes,
Play some tactics there.
Sean,
First one was just waiting.
there was less than a second between the three of you as you hit the line on the for the checkered flag in that second race. Absolutely insane. Christopher Cassiano, could I drag you into this conversation as well? Just looking at the results, particularly there in the feature race, not the campaign that won you would have liked and we're used to seeing from you. Talk us through what happened.
Yeah, a bit of a shocker there. I think it just comes down to not knowing this track very well and getting unlucky in a couple of places. At the start of the first race, I was hanging onto the back of Sean and he got pulled out, and then I just got eaten up by the rest of the pack. Wasn't too good from there.
And Jason Archer McMillan, is your debt paid?
It certainly is. USA. USA.
Are you going to be racing as an Australian next week, or are we just going to pack you up and ship you over to the United States?
No, I said 2 races. We've given Chris 2 races. Happy days.
Why would you be silly enough to take that bet in the first place? That's what I want to know.
He made the bet.
Oh,
I made the bet. I was supremely confident that the Socceroos would win. I wasn't expecting us to give them 2 goals. I know they're the host nation, but boy, there's no need to give them a victory.
well,
They're going to lose on their own anyway.
has the lesson been learnt?
No.
That is about right.
No lessons ever get learned around these.
No.
Thanks, guys.
That's not part of the That's not part of our language.
Thanks,
You know
guys,
what?
for
Let's take
putting on a great show. We'll leave it there, gents. Yeah, the Aussie Simmer has just jumped into the chat and said, Si, power outage. It sucks. Yeah, I bet it does. He was having an absolute blinder. Sorry to see that, Nathan. That's an absolute shocker. You just disappeared off my screen and I had no idea. It didn't come up as an incident. And as you know, with the little computer issues I've had of late, I know how frustrating that can be. Look, Nathan's out there because he absolutely loves his racing. Is just passionate about his racing, and that's why he wants to come out and play side-by-side action. You just can't get enough of it. So there it is, the second round of the Formula V Trophy Series, and as you heard from Alexander, they're going to be upping the power for the next round to another 10%. It was absolutely brilliant at Lime Rock, and I expect it is going to be exactly like that for the next round. Now, let's just check out, before we go too much further, let's have a quick look and see if we can get an updated championship. There we have it. Eric Lancheres on 145 points, leading at the moment. Robbie Wright on 117. Sean Gabinski on 113. Ken Pullen drops out of the top 3, but still very respectable. 105 for him. David Gerard. Now, David, at the end of last season, I had a chat with Pit Bits, and he said that his hope was to potentially finish in the top 5 if he could. He set himself that target. At that stage, I think he was a 2.4K driver, so he's up to 3K. He's been absolutely grinding the open wheeler action, finds himself in exactly that position at the moment. So good luck with that, David. Rodrigo Tostes, 94 points. And Alexander picking up 2 wins on his return to the series after life getting in the way is equal with Suleiman Khan in 7th spot. Eric Legault, great performance from him in 9th. And Leif Hellberg, the newcomer to the series, finds himself in the top 10. We will be streaming again this time next week, which is Monday morning Sydney time, 6 p.m. US Central Time, if my memory serves me correct. If you want to get involved in this series, I'll put a link in the description down below for that. Just come and sign up and you can have a great deal of fun. And I can assure you, if you do race these guys, yes, they are aliens. Yes, they are quick, but they're absolutely brilliant people too. You'll learn a lot, have a lot of fun, and potentially knock some of them off their perch, which would be absolutely awesome. Thanks very much for watching. We'll look forward to catching up with you next time. Please like and subscribe. It really helps me out.